Welcome to Red Zone and Lab Podcast with Dion Deuce Blackney. I am Adrianaya Blackney, his daughter. Thank you for tuning in today's episode. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Red Zone and Lab, and don't forget to hit the notification button. Thank you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Hi, I'm Christian Miles, native Washingtonian and real estate agent servicing the Washington metropolitan area. I started my career as an investor and later transitioned to the residential side. I really wanted to leave the investor side because I wanted to connect with people. Building relationships is important to me. I understand the buying and selling process can be challenging. I get it. I've been there. I'm a mom, wife, friend, and neighbor. I absolutely love helping families and connecting with people. Going through the home buying and selling process is stressful enough. When working with me, I make it fun. As a realtor, I think it's important to be able to connect with you. Every detail is important, no matter how small. Let me take care of the heavy lifting while you focus on the joys of finding a new home. Something I live by: people may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. With me, it's an experience.
Welcome back to Red Zone and the Lab with Deuce.
Welcome back. This is Red Zone and the Lab podcast. This is Dion Deuce Blackney. This is day 3 of the NFL free agency. Today is the official start of the new league year at 4 p.m. Eastern. This is where teams will confirm all of the signings that you have seen rumored throughout the past couple days during the NFL legal tampering period. The guest today is going to be Octavius Williams. He's going to come and he's going to talk to us about Deshaun Watson and what his future looks like. We also are going to have Mike Metcalf. Evans is going to be a first-time guest on the show. Who's going to talk about Lamar Jackson and the free agency moves from the Baltimore Ravens and what he's going to expect going into the season. And also we're going to have on John Matthews. You know, Uncle's going to be back in the building. We're going to go over the remaining free agents, some top free agents that's still out there and where they're going to go. So please stay, listen, please like, listen, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Red Zone and the Lab. Hit that notification so you'll know when we drop something else. Let's get to it.
There's a lot of bad stigma about shopping for a used car. Well, come visit us at iCargo Motors. We'll take care of you. We'll ensure that your experience is not only seamless and efficient, but also satisfying. Because at iCargo Motors, we believe that the best form of currency is integrity.
Welcome back to Red Zone and the Lab with Deuce.
In the 2017 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Deshaun Watson.
Putting him in there too soon, putting him under the gun, understanding the system that he's playing for, the expectations.
Well, I think the preciseness and the
All right, welcome back, Red Zone and Lab podcast. It's Dion Deuce Blackney. Man, as promised, man, Octavius Williams is in the building, man. We're about to chat about Deshaun Watson, man, and get that thing going. Octavius, man, Sports Guide TV, man. Welcome back to the podcast, man. We appreciate you coming.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I'm glad to be back as well.
Starting to put your toes in that streaming world, man, and drop your Twitch handle when you go live and stream.
Yeah, Twitch handle is the_real_octane. I actually need to switch that over probably on the next 2K to Sports God. I played most of the games on the Real Octane DC this particular season, so I would have to do a whole lot of catching up if I was to switch TV.
Yeah, man, because like I never really like known someone. I mean, like us knowing someone that actually is like good enough to be in that world. You know, it's just crazy. I mean, people we play around the way. He's like, yeah, blah blah. But you out there with the dogs. I mean, these dudes making rack of money, and you getting in there, and you just starting to knock them off.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Got a good team of people with me, man, that help that process, man. We all work together. We work off each other, feed off each other's let's say the IQ, basketball IQ. So it's a video game, but we play it as if, you know, we were out there doing it in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it just make my job a lot easier when I can get out there and do my thing too.
Yeah, man, it's a business, man. You can make man, I wish I could play, man. All right, man. So let's, get into Deshaun Watson, man. And of course, we all know he signed that deal at the end of 2020. No, the beginning of 2020. He signed that extension, which actually kicks in this year. And a couple months after that, he started. He was unhappy, wanted to be traded. I think he knew that when he signed that extension, but he knew that's the most money he can get from any team. So what was your first initial reaction when Deshaun Watson started, asking him to be traded and started being disgruntled in the locker room?
I just felt like it was my first reaction was just that, from following his career, back in Clemson, didn't know too much about him in, high school, but I heard he had a really successful high school career as well. The guy's a young man that's driven and is a winner, and I'm sure there's some things that made him unhappy, and number one being them trading his best receiver, Yeah,
man.
That'll make a quarterback, any quarterback, disgruntled and get ready to, wanting to leave. And I just feel like they didn't, put enough pieces around him also to get him to want to stay, and speak and voice his opinion to ownership. They pretty much just threw it wayside. So I'm sure that was the end of the road right there.
That happened. The end of the year came. Of course, he publicly asked to be traded. And then all of a sudden, this stuff happened with, the women coming out accusing him of sexual misconduct. So that kind of just put a hold on everything.
Absolutely.
Everything had to go through, the process. I don't really know it, so I don't want to get into the process and how all that works. But all I know is a couple Fridays ago, seemed like the criminal charges was dropped. So that allowed him for the actual trade market to kind of pick up. So when that happened and you start saying, okay, it's okay for him to stop searching, do you think it's still something as far as the civil part? You think the NFL is going to, you think while they looking for a trade, are they also considering if the NFL is going to take some sort of an action?
Absolutely. I'm sure that's in every general manager's mind frame. They're going to know what's going to come with him when they bring him to their organization. They know that hangs over his head as far as the civil suits and obviously the punishment that the NFL could possibly hand down. Even if he walk away scot-free from everything, from the allegations, from the civil part of it, the NFL can suspend him from 4 games. They could suspend him for 8 games. They could suspend him for 6 games. I think that team that's going to sign him is willing to take that risk because he's a heck of an athlete. And as far as what we know, prior to this, he was a squeaky clean type of kid. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about him going in and out of jail or anything like that and getting caught up in everything. And he's definitely a franchise quarterback, in my opinion. So,
yeah, mine too. So, leaning into those teams that's acquired for his service and some of the teams that he met with, what are some of those teams that he has met with that kind of initially jump out to you?
One that was surprising first was Cleveland Browns, because you would think that even though Baker was a former number 1 pick as well. So pick. And, Baker has had weapons there in Cleveland. Cleveland has pretty much had a solid unit for last few years. Solid running game, solid defense. And all they is a quarterback away. And seems like Baker just could not get it done, but he kind of got hurt last year and still was trying to play through it. So you would think that they'll give him another shot, but for them to openly, recruit or want to, bring Deshaun Watson in, it was kind of surprising to me. But also, of course, you got Sean Payton, and then, well, not Sean Payton no more. He's not actually coaching with them no more, but the Saints as well. And I guess the decision probably came in because, Jameis just coming off of an injury, I believe contract situation as well. So, man, anytime you get a chance to get a guy like Deshaun Watson, you're going to have to take that chance. The Seahawks was even interested in him, and that's a big understanding considering their rust then left for Denver,
right? Yeah,
and Atlanta. And I just, through my research, that found out that Deshaun Watson used to be a ball boy for the Atlanta, real tight with the Blank family and everything like that, and even picked up the phone himself and got in touch with some of those higher ups there in Atlanta. So that's something interesting to look forward to as well, to see how that turns out. And you think about Matt Ryan being there his whole career, and he has had multitude of weapons and even been in the Super Bowl and was big the Patriots, and and they blew that. So it might be time for a new sheriff in town there as well.
Yeah, man, that Falcons that really surprised me. I just didn't think at all about the Falcons. That came out of nowhere, but yeah, they made it. They magnified the point that he reached out to them personally, which I thought was, kind of like interesting, because he has all the power, right? He has a no trade clause, so he has all the power. So even if they offer him something less than everybody else, he could tell everybody else no, and go to the Falcons.
Absolutely.
And we kind of talked about the Panthers. I mean, they've been knowingly wanting him since last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have wanted him since last year. But some of the things that I talk about with people, what I'm trying to, kind of get across, and I know you're going to agree with me, these teams that's requesting that he has talked to, we know he's talked to the Seahawks, he's talked to the Panthers, the Saints, the Browns flew down and met with him. He's supposed to talk with the Falcons coming up. And I try to get across that you don't think these teams was doing hired private investigators, right? Do you believe they hired private investigators from when it first started to kind of follow along to see where this may or may not go?
Absolutely. I believe top organizations, especially they're going to do their due diligence. They got to do their due diligence. Because you want to not put your franchise in jeopardy, so to speak. So you want to make sure that you do your due diligence, do your research, obviously have a face-to-face with that individual, in this case being Deshaun Watson. Just getting a feel for who he is as a person, maybe his background, family, stuff like that, history and all of those things. But yeah, you definitely will want to get, or I'm sure that they probably did have, a PI, on to try to gather whatever information that they could before they make a sound decision on what they want to offer him, because it's going to be a boatload of money. Obviously, he's going to be a franchise guy, still a young guy, 26 years old. So you can lock him in for a very long time. So I'm pretty sure that they did their due diligence.
Yeah, because they said they want at least, because you can only trade 3 consecutive first round picks at a time. So they want 3. They want 3 of those. They want other early picks, and they want players. So from my understanding, all the teams that he met with, the Texans had to kind of approve the compensation. So everyone has their pricing, like they have it. So now it's just up to the Deshaun Watson to pick where he wants to go. Where do you think is the best fit for him, and then we're gonna talk about where should he go. But what do you think is the actual best fit for him?
In my opinion, out of the teams that we openly know about, as far as the fit goes, I kind of lean towards Carolina, to be honest. I kind of lean Carolina. I think Carolina, that organization is used to a guy that has the same caliber as a Deshaun Watson, at Cam Newton. They have a real solid defense, and they have some playmakers. And I'm sure wherever Deshaun goes, that there's going to be a top receiver that's going to want to follow. I can almost bet the house on that.
Yeah, it's been a lot of reports about that. A lot of people was kind of waiting to see where that chip fall at, because there's a lot of free agents that's still out there that haven't, signed with anyone yet.
Yeah, and they're definitely waiting on his decision. His decision is going to trickle down a whole lot, no matter where he goes. But as far as fit wise, I think I wouldn't say Atlanta, because their defense struggled last year. So Atlanta is a wonderful place and city, and he has a relationship with the Blank family, and they do have weapons as well, but it's no more Julio, obviously, and even my man Sidney, what's the guy, the wide receiver that just got suspended for the whole year for betting. Yeah, he's Calvin Ridley. I'm sorry, yeah. So they do have a stud at tight end. But I just think Carolina will be the best fit. And they're in a tough division. It'd be in the same division as the toughest division in football last year, considering the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and those teams of that magnitude. The Bucks. The Bucks. Yeah. The Bucks being in the same division with Tom Brady should be interesting.
Yeah, man. That's just the news. It's just like he just had to make his decision.
Right.
It may come as late as today, or maybe tomorrow. Maybe a team will kind of creep in there. You think about the Colts. They just got some picks from the Commanders. You think about 49ers. Like, would the Texans want Trey Lance? So you kind of think about those teams that set everywhere else. All they need is a quarterback.
QB1, yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's intriguing. I think he has a lot of I think he has an opportunity, but I think other things come into play is exactly what we kind of talked about earlier, is about what the NFL is going to do, but I think these teams, they'll take an 8-game suspension, right?
Absolutely.
I think they'll take it, especially if he can come to OTAs, training camp, and all that. I think they'll, whatever. We'll see you the second half of the season. I think like starting the first day or that first practice before week 1, he can't be in the building until he's off a suspension. But I think he could be in like the rest of the off-season program. So that's going to be big, it's going to be big for him. I don't know what the Texans game plan is, but this can jumpstart their franchise for real. If you think about it,
absolutely.
Three number 1 picks, and they're not going to be no good in the next 3 years. So they're going to have like 2 top 10 picks, what I'm saying? And some players. They probably want some young players to build around. So all in all, do you think, as we can, like, Deshaun Watson 2020, he was considered like one of the best, top 10. Some people had him like top 7.
Yeah.
With the emergence of like Burrow, Allen, Herbert, where do you think he falls within those other young guys?
He's a top tier. He's more accomplished, for one. Mm-hmm. Though Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals had a terrific season, obviously, and we're in the Super Bowl and a few plays away from actually becoming Super Bowl champions. And I think Burrow's going to be something to reckon for, moving forward. I think Herbert is absolutely amazing with the arm talent he has and even the mobility. And, but I still think Deshaun is head above them. like you said, 2020, he threw for over 4,800 yards. Mm-hmm. He had 37 touchdowns and only like 6 to 7 picks. So like he and for his career, he's thrown in 4 years, he's already thrown for over 14,000 yards and only has 36 interceptions in 4 seasons. So that lets you know what caliber player you're getting there. And that doesn't even include the things as far as just the attention that he brings at that position, global. And, you know, a defense is hard to scheme around against him because all the weaponry that he possesses, you know, as a quarterback. So the intelligence is key. But I think he's top tier when it comes to those guys that you mentioned. But they're right there. They're right there. But I just think they have a little bit more to prove. So does he. But I just think talent-wise, he's top tier quarterback.
All in all, will we see Deshaun Watson's in the playoffs next year?
No matter where he goes?
Yeah. Out of all the teams, all the teams we know he has interest in, that he'll, you know, waive his no trade clause. Does he put any of those teams in the playoffs?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
he puts him in the driver's seat to get to that playoff. Yes, he does.
I agree. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. That's Octavius Williams, man. Again, thank you. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Of course, I'm going to request you again to come on. You know, the end of the free agency, and man.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Take care, man. Shout out to Red Zone.
Red Zone and Lab Podcast. This is Deuce. We out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This coming to you all. Just wanted to share these amazing Tava products with you all that has helped me drop 60 pounds over a year and a half. So look, I'm going to start out with our flagship product, which is our Facia Detox Tea. When I tell you it's amazing, it's going to clean out your upper and your lower intestines. And also, Facia stands for empty in Spanish. That's the first part. Now we have Violate 30, which is vitamin and liquid energy for 30 days. Now, once you detox, it's going to take out good and a bad. So this right here is going to put everything good back in your body, all the nutrients you need. Now, this here is a flare. The flare will definitely get you there. It has no caffeines, no sugars. You will not have jitters. It's all natural, and it gives you great energy. Last but not least, we have our CBD infused coffee, Caprice. Colombian blend. It helps keep you calm. Does not have any caffeines or sugars. It's all natural. Chaga mushrooms and Garcinia gambodia, which is good for memory. So if you want to try any of these amazing products, all you have to do is reach out to me. You can reach me on Facebook at Van Thomas or Instagram at Van_the Detox Man. If you want to reach out, just hit me. I'll gladly get back to you. Peace.
Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab with Deuce.
All right, welcome back, man. Red Zone in the Lab Podcast, Dion Deuce Blackney. And as promised, my man Mike Metcalf Evans is in the building. He's going to represent Baltimore Ravens correspondent to say, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining, man. First time on, man. Very appreciative of this. Believe that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for having me on, man. This is a good look right here, man.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it. Like, so I know initially we was gonna kind of just talk about Lamar Jackson, and you know his status with the Ravens, anything to worry about. But I just want to say, man, how are you feeling about that defense now? I mean,
yeah, we made some great upgrades, man. Like just a few minutes ago, we got Z Smith back, man. So I mean that's good. I wish he didn't leave in the first place, but you know, money talks, man, in free agency. Yeah. So you know, he would have did his years there, so he came back home for reunions.
Yeah, man. So like, man, that secondary. Man, it looks it's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
It's you know, Humphrey, Marcus Peters, of course, he coming back off injury, but still, man, Marcus Williams was a big pickup.
Oh my gosh, man! Like the number one rated free agent safety, man. I could deal with that. You know, a lot of people they'll go back and they'll go back to the Minneapolis Miracle, man. Look, that was years ago.
Man, he done put all that to rest. You hear me? Like the last couple years, Younger been out there balling, man.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, Eric DeCosta, I don't know what he's doing, man, but whatever he's doing, keep doing it.
Yeah, man. And then Morgan Mogus, man, that's a good pickup. He was with us for the majority. He was continuing to the Jets last year. He ain't missed a game in like 12 years. He came his first couple years, he was injury prone, and after that, it's been like 8-9 years. He ain't missed a game. So I think that's a good look for Lamar Jackson. I know he's happy about that.
Solid pickup, man. Because we was in need of a right tackle, man. We tried Villanueva. He didn't work out so much. He retired, so it's probably a good thing. He could go back to being an Army Ranger. But yeah, man, like that was a great pickup, man. Great veteran pickup, man. So we solidified the right side of our line. We got Moses, we got Zietler. So I'm looking to see if we're going to get Bradley Bozeman or what we're going to do in the draft. But I know free agency ain't over. I know Eric DeCosta is not finished. You know, he's gonna go dig his hands somewhere else. And we got 10 picks all together now. We just got 3 comp picks, so he probably gonna trade some of them picks and try to get some more players. So we'll see.
Man. Because I know, and just talking about like players, like they offered the tenure to Huntley. Yeah. He still has to sign it, of course, but they did offer it to him. I think he did an okay job. And I think that's what Costas tried to do. He's trying to get someone that kind of emulate, if you want to call it, as much as you can to the offense for Lamar Jackson. But that brings us to Lamar Jackson. We know he's his own agent. Let's talk about that first. Do you think that's a good approach to take in today's NFL?
Well, in today's NFL, I don't know, because they do have language and contracts that that needs to be understood. And I'm not saying that he's not smart enough to understand the language, or his mother is not smart enough to understand the language, but it's different variables to go with contracts. I feel like he's not making the wrong decision right now, because he's betting on himself. You know what I'm saying? He'll take the $23 million this year, 5th-year option. So I mean, I think he's just gonna go the Flacco route and bet on himself, and he's gonna make them sign him to a nice lucrative contract. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, because I think he may just be waiting. Let me see what y'all know. Okay, y'all defense looking good. Now I need some weapons. So he may just be waiting because that's what he may be waiting on. I don't know. Or he might just play on the tag. Costas had made a comment during the combine about, they offered something to him. They just waiting for him to come back. And Lamar's kind of like, I don't want to say lollygag, but I think he's playing the offseason how he wants to play it, being his own agent. And I think that's right. That's okay. I mean, it's his body. And I think he knows what he's doing when it comes to that.
Yeah. I feel as though right now he has the leverage. So I'm just looking at it like, Huntley did do good in the the 6 games he was away. We only won 1 against the Chicago Bears, but other than that, Huntley's not the ideal starter for this offense. So we definitely need Lamar. We definitely need LJ8, man. We need him at the helm. And calling plays and whatnot, man, running plays, man. Like, we need him. So at this point, I think he has the leverage. I think he has the leverage, and I think he's not doing a bad thing about having the leverage and going about it how he's going about it.
Yeah, because right now he's not even one of the top 10 paid quarterbacks, and we know he's still on his rookie deal. So of course, that's going to change dramatically. Aaron Rodgers just got 50. He just got $50 million. So you got John Allen. He's what? He's at 43 right now.
43, yeah.
So, so we got it. So he's Lamar's looking at it like, man, he might want to come in at like, 52, 53. But how do you feel about people kind of forgetting about Lamar Jackson? You have Burrow show out this year, John Allen continue his ascension, Herbert. And it's like when you think about Lamar Jackson, it's like people, they don't even count him in the top 8, 9 no more. It's like they forgot all about him. How does the Ravens fans feel about that?
I think they're still on the fence about it too. I mean, they, we kind of like have a love-hate relationship. Well, not me personally, but other people that I know that are Ravens fans kind of got like a love-hate relationship because how they say in the NFL is, what have you done for me lately? And the past 2 years have been subpar. Last year being his worst season, really. But yeah, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. And for me personally, I just think that, shoring up that offensive line and getting our running attack, what we're known for, getting that back to where it was. We had two running backs out on injured reserve, So
yeah, the racket backs out.
Man, we had literally everybody. We was down to practice squad players, man, really. Man. So I just tell people, I understand what they're talking about, but you have to give it some time. I mean, he's only in his 5th year. He's still young, still a young guy, man. Still a young guy, and still have a bunch of upside. I mean, you don't become a unanimous MVP
right
like out of nowhere. There's only 2 people that have done it. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell everybody they should give it some time and let him work the kinks and see where it go from there, because I really think this season is like it's like a make or break year for Greg Roman, because Greg Roman,
he should have been gone.
Yeah, oh my God, his play calling it's so predictable. It's terrible, man. It's terrible when the defense can come on the field and look at the formations and just know what's going to happen. So it's too predictable. And we learned this when he had Tyrod Taylor in Buffalo and when he had Kaepernick in San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? It's too predictable. And he says that he has plays in the vault, but he haven't even opened the vault yet, man. We still trying to figure out what's the code to the vault, man.
Yeah, he need to open it. He need to do.
He need to open it up, man. He need to open it up.
Yeah, because Lamar can do so many things, and he showed it in and out. He gives what the defense give him. He can stand in the pocket. He can throw that ball. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He can lead a team 2 fourth quarter comebacks. He's done it. So it's not that he can't throw the ball. He can make those throws that they call. When you have arm talent and when your arm is conceded and all that, he makes those throws, and he can do it with his legs. He's willing to put a team on his back. So that whole theory about him not being a quarterback, I think that's out the window, because what people are looking for now is the guy that can make plays. I mean, look at Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, all those guys makes plays with their legs.
Exactly. They all do. And I really think it all goes back to when he was drafted. So
wide receiver, right?
Yeah, they wanted him to do the combine at wide receiver. He's like, no, I'm a quarterback, and that's what he is, and that's what he was at Louisville. He was a quarterback. He put up
pro style quarterback.
Yeah, pro style, and that's another thing. He was in the pro style offense before he even got to the NFL. So
yeah, man, he was in a pro style offense. And I don't know, man. They just, fast black kid that can run. Let's try him at wide receiver. But I'm glad he made that decision to not do any wide receiver drills. And look what happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unanimous MVP, like you said, 1 of 2. So what's his ceiling this year? Is it playoffs or bust? Is it AFC Championship game or bust? Especially with all these defenses.
In his mind, it's Super Bowl or bust this year. In his mind, which has been like that for years since he came into the league. He promised he's going to bring a Super Bowl, but at the same time, like you said, he could carry a team on his back, but he can't do it himself. Everybody has to be hitting on all cylinders. Like football is a team sport. You have three aspects here: special teams, defense, offense. Everybody has to be hitting on all cylinders for it to actually work. That's the biggest thing.
But we need some weapons on offense, rather it's through the draft or free agency. Hollywood is a guy. He's not a number one. If you can sneak him to be a two, or even that slot receiver, if you can sneak him down there, yeah. If you can sneak him that three slot guy,
right. And I mean, we got Bateman, and he really couldn't show what he can really do last year because of the injury. He was out, 6 games or so. So he really trying to come into his own. Everybody's trying to come into his own. We got Duvernay, we can use him. We can use him like San Francisco used Deebo Samuel. We can use him in the backfield. He's good in the slot. He's also our return specialist. And we can't forget about James Prochet. He has some of the best hands I've seen since Jerry Rice, Marvin Harrison. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get these people, we need to get these boys their time, man. Stop signing these veterans and coming in and taking the playing time, man. We need to let these young cats grow, man. We need to let them grow.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing the bounce back year from Lamar, because as you can see, linemen and linebackers can't get him down. COVID couldn't get him down, because honestly, man, out of all the football players, like you could count Cam is one, a few other guys that contracted COVID. They came back just different. But Lamar, he came back like 3 times. He seemed like he was the same person.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
He's still young, and I mean, we don't know how his immune system worked, but it looked like it's been pretty decent to me. It looked like he could just recover from anything, So
man, it looked like he taking care of his body. So what's your expectation before we get out of here? What's your expectations of the Ravens this year?
Just like I say, I think it's Super Bowl or bust. But I wouldn't be mad if we do make it to the AFC Championship, because you got to figure now with Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, so now they're considered a contender. Now Khalil Mack,
he's with them Chargers, boy.
He's with the Chargers with Bosa, and they just got CJ Jackson or whatnot. So
we got Derwin James,
that Derwin James, so we have a lot of contenders in the AFC, man. So I wouldn't be mad at all if we only make the AFC Championship, but really it's Super Bowl or bust, man.
Because he's one of it's not like he's one of the elite. So it's like you can't be like, we get there because our division, our conference is tough. No, but you are one of the elites. Like, you are expected to be there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you Tannehill, like Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. You know what I'm saying? They can say, oh yeah, we at least we got to the wild card game. But no, not the Ravens, not Lamar Jackson, man. Not Lamar Jackson.
He's definitely held to a different standard, man. He's definitely held, by all the analysts and whatnot, everybody holds him to a different standard, man. So, I just think it's crazy, but Super Bowl or bust, man. I really, with these signings, and we haven't even gotten to the draft yet. We haven't even finished free agency, man. And we already at an A+ level with these signings, man. So, we just get a few more pieces. We good, man. We good.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you to I'm gonna reach out, have you come back on before the draft.
No doubt.
But we don't want to do that now because, like you said, I got a rack of picks, and of course, I might get rid of some of them.
We might get rid of some.
Yeah, or even try to move up because it's some good receivers.
Yeah,
some good receivers projected in rounds 1 and 2. So I can use those to kind of go up. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. That's Michael Metcalf Evans, man. I appreciate you for coming on Red Zone in the lab, man.
I appreciate you having me, man. It's been dope, man. I'm looking forward to doing it again, bro.
I appreciate that, man. All right, man. Take care, man.
All right, you too.
Thank you for listening to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Zone in the Lab. And you can download our podcast at Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And please visit our website at redzoneinTheLab.com. Thank you.